The forum highlighted the severe hardship facing Nigerians, including inflation, high living costs, and declining wages. It also pointed to ongoing insecurity, particularly in northern states, caused by insurgency, terrorism, and banditry. By the way, Bello Turji has also very recently in Zamfara state asked the people to contribute 50 million naira to him. And you start to wonder, that seems like a government, somebody holding sway in that part of town. The military come to say, oh, we are closing in on him. We've taken down his uncle, his brother, his sister, but then he's still administering that region. It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing to read in the papers.
Moses, the way you put it, you say it's embarrassing. Well, you were very mild. You didn't actually. I'm sorry to say.
I don't want to use any harsh word.
No, I know. But saying that you didn't drive home, what Toji is doing. When you say people contributing money for him, it's more like crowdfunding, for something. It's a levy. You know what a levy is? If you don't pay,
it will attack you.
Yes, it's quite unfortunate.
And they will still attack if they do not pay. Not just that they are making that to be more.
Is it just about levy?
They will still attack.
I mean, he says, look, if you can't pay, like 18 communities, you have to move.
You have to move.
You have to move.
Communities.
In a land,
you have to leave your ancestral land. Move, go away, or we'll chase you out. And government is listening to all of this.
Listening to all of this.
Is that enough? What about the time that they open up fire on persons whom they believe actually happen to be serving as intel to the security personnel? And yet, government actually is still watching all this play out.
And what is more unfortunate is that in all of this, we have northern leaders, have effrontery, the audacity, the arrogance to come and say, look, there is insurgency, there is terrorism, there is banditry. Did it just start 2 years ago? I mean, Buhari was there for 8 good years. And they didn't have a voice to say, look, enough of this. Insurgency, terrorism is a national problem, but it is more felt in the north. Unfortunately for us, the thing is coming down south.
Oh, yes,
look at what is happening in the middle belt, more like ethnic cleansing. And we have people in authority, people atop our military architecture tell us that, look, these things are caused by foreigners. And the person is still in government. Okay, the chief of army staff or who relocated to Benue State, what have we heard since then?
Questions and questions, and the most annoying of it all is the president is going around commissioning renovated structures and telling those that he appointed, like, look, don't mind naysayers, don't mind detractors, just do what you're doing. Meanwhile, Nigerians are being chased out of their homes. Nigerians are being asked to pack and leave their homes. Leave to where?
The question now is...
To squats where? Go to IDP camps? Of course, we are living like refugees in Nigeria.
Exactly what someone said.
Yes.
In your own home country.
They're living like refugees.
Because we have moved from being internally displaced people to refugees.
Are the northern elites ready for the issue of insecurity in Nigeria to end? That's the first question to ask. The politicians in the north, are they ready and willing to actually come up to say, we want to end the issue of insurgency, terrorism, and banditry in Nigeria, especially in the north? Remember that a particular man in Nigeria wanted to put an end to the issue of insurgency. And then some persons come up to say, attack on these people happens to be attack on us. And they took up to, writing to international bodies to talk about how, they are planning on putting an end to them because they declared an emergency over the fact that persons are being killed, individuals, houses are being burnt, properties are being destroyed. Are we ready at this point in time to say we need help for us to put an end to the issue of insecurity? Or is someone actually crying foul when they know they are kind of benefiting from all that is happening? Are we ready to say that at this point in time, we're not going to ethnicize this whole thing, go out there, take out anyone who we actually believe or the person that we think are the ones causing this mayhem in Nigeria?
In all of this, we hear leaders from the north in particular say that, look, politicians are behind. And they don't name names, they don't give names.
I don't think they are ready actually for this to end.
Names, obviously.
So why wouldn't they?
Why wouldn't they keep short?
Why?
Because I think those that are perpetrating this are the high and mighty.
Then that shows
So
they
you
are not
can't
ready
just
to
name
end
names.
insecurity. We are not ready to end
Of course we are
insecurity.
not.
Okay,
I agree
that,
with
that
you.
means that a situation where if we push this kind of argument that, look, the people are more powerful than the state, it clearly brings us to the discussion, the argument we have had over time. Nigeria is a failed state. Yes. No, if you have non-state actors in obvious contention with the state actors, you know, for the control of the monopoly of legitimate means of violence, and the non-state actors become more powerful, then where is our sovereignty? Nigeria is then a failed state. By that definition. Because you and I, nobody is safe again. Anything
Nobody
can
is.
happen to anybody at any time.
So until when we are ready to fight insecurity, especially from the northern part of this nation, then we should bring it to the table. We'll have better solutions to it. I'm tired of talking about insecurity every time on the table. Yes, it's true. Persons that are being killed every day. Villages are being sacked. In Benue State, one, I think, fire something actually placed levy on the communities. If you don't pay 50 million, you know, and people had to come up, sell their farm produce to raise up this money, or else they'll be attacked. We also learned from a chairman of a particular local government that a particular attack happened close to an army camp. And when he went there to meet them, they say they've not gotten order from powers that be for them to do what to have maybe a reprisal or maybe try to force those people to live there. These are stories that got me tired or worried about how the importance of life happened to be here in Nigeria, especially among our political elites. If we're ready to fight insecurity in Nigeria, we'll be able to do it. Enough of the sentiment. Now, away from that, Segun Sowunmi, a prominent member of the People's Democratic Party and former spokesperson for Atiku Abubakar, has expressed willingness to work with President Bola Tinubu, describing him as highly intelligent and more capable than his political peers. Speaking in an interview after visiting Tinubu at his Lagos residence, Sowunmi said he engaged the president on national issues and found him mentally sharp and responsive. He praised Tinubu's unique leadership style, stating he doesn't have one approach to dealing with everybody. That is his own opinion, that is his own findings. That revelation he just made for Nigerians, actually, a whole lot of persons have come up to say, why would he say something like this? Is it that, you know, he's kind of chasing another political appointment? Maybe he has fallen out with Atiku Abubakar, who happens to be, or who he happens to work for before as a spokesperson. Recall what happened with the likes of Daniel Buala and even Reno Mercury and all that have come up to say that this particular man who have as a president does not really have what it takes to push Nigeria forward. In the words of Daniel Buala, even if you give Tinubu 30 years, he can't do something for Nigeria. But now what is happening? He's now speaking from the other side of his mouth, making Nigerians, you know, who actually are suffering the hardship and poverty and insecurity in Nigeria feel like maybe we don't really know what we're saying. We've seen them most times come up to call us names. Persons who are not benefited from what we're supposed to be benefiting from will not reaping the fruit or the dividends of democracy. And someone is being out there telling us that maybe you're blind or you're dumb or you're deaf. You cannot hear, you can't see. Also, the principles coming up. But from Shego at this point in time saying that the president is smart, he's smart enough that he has different approaches towards different things happening in Nigeria. I would have loved to ask him, you know, on this particular show, what are the approaches that the president is putting in place to reduce inflation in Nigeria at this point in time? What are the approaches that you think is putting in place now to end the issue of insecurity, which we know now is on the high side? What are those techniques is bringing on the table to bring back the price of foods and commodity essentials that Nigeria needs to the point that average Nigerian can be able to afford it? What other plans or techniques is it bringing on the table to make sure that you and myself, no, let me take you out maybe because you have what it takes now, take care of yourself. You can fly yourself abroad to seek, you know, you can go on medical tourism, but not for me who happens to be in Nigeria. Can I actually say the same when I get into the hospital to say I need something? What are the unique, you know, the policies is putting in place also to make sure that even power is what everybody believes that if we're to have stable power supply in Nigeria, we'll be able to take production to another level. What are the unique techniques it's putting in place also for that to happen? We have been taxed. We have high and, you know, rates also being paid. I'm talking about hikes now. There's no power subsidy anymore, no fuel subsidy, and a whole lot of other things. Nigerians are being asked to pay high price for that. But believe me, we're not even getting we're not getting the fruits of whatever money is it that we're paying for us to receive something else in return. These are questions that I would have loved to ask you, but I believe you have answers to them also for you to have come up to say this that you just said. I'm waiting for that to come into fruition.
Oh, well, I don't see why we'll be talking about one man's opinion. This is his opinion. He said, look, the president is smarter. He's someone who, at different interviews before now, has spoken against the policies of the president, but he probably has seen the light. Daniel Bwala saw the light at some point. I would call it survival of the smartest, as it were.
So they got to the end of the tunnel before us?
Probably.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay.
They've seen the light. Maybe at the end of the tunnel or somewhere in the middle, they saw a glimmer of light, and that's it. So, good for them. I mean, if I got closer to the president too, I might see the light. You never can tell.
Now, some people are speaking. Some people are speaking.
No, I'm not saying. We just want growth in Nigeria. We want Nigerians, the generality of Nigerians to reap the benefits of democracy. It's not about a few individuals. It's easy for these things to happen because the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, Ashiwaju, as he's called, seems to tilt a lot more towards praise singers. He seems to like those that would, glorify him, especially when they're coming from those that once criticized him. It's glorious to him. So he should, continue to enjoy the attention. And all of those looking for food on their table, I wish them well. I think that's what it is.
Yes, that's exactly what it is.
Table.
There's something, Moses, you said the other day. You said that the president is the master of the art. And like Godfather said, Don Corleone, he says, bring your enemies close. Your friends close, but your enemies closer. You said that, I think 2 days ago. That is one of it. Another is when you said that it's the survival of the smartest. I agree with you too, because, and it brings me to what's his name, the father of evolutionary biology, Charles Darwin. He says that, look, in the struggle for survival, it is not the species that is the strongest, the fastest, or that is even the swiftest that survive, but the one that is most receptive to change. I think these people are receptive to change.
Exactly, absolutely.
Absolutely. So it means being receptive to change. Bwala is being receptive to change. Even Reno Omokri is being receptive to change. But it worries me when people give our president, they credit him with a high level of intelligence. I don't have any reason to doubt them. Okay, they are entitled to the opinion, but I have reason to doubt them in the sense that, is it native intelligence, like we say in our local parlance, or is it academic intelligence? I don't know which one it is. But why I question it is the fact that for the past 2 years, can anybody tell me one thing that the president has succeeded in doing from start to finish in this country? Just one thing for 2 years. So it worries me when we harness our ingenuity, our creativity in the service of manipulation, in the service of madness. Exactly what we see. 700-kilometer highway, you commission 30, and people are clapping hands for you. Local government autonomy, instead of going to National Assembly, you go to the Supreme Court and you are stuck somewhere. Tax reform bills, is it practicable? What? Just one. Just one of the policies. Remove fuel subsidy, we are still paying subsidy. What again? Just one thing that the intelligent president has done in 2 years, 24 months from start to finish. I can't find any. So people that say that the president are intelligent, well, it's all well and good for you. I believe you, but I doubt you too. Well, let's go away from that and go to another interesting story that is trending, very laughable if you ask me. Like the crypto bridge exchange, CBEX, a known Ponzi scheme that abruptly shut down in April after defrauding Nigerians of hundreds of thousands of dollars, has resumed operations nationwide. Now, where is the EFCC? Victims were told to log back into their accounts where they reportedly saw their previous balances restored. Excellent optics. However, to access or withdraw funds, investors are now being asked to deposit additional money. $200 for those with investments above $1,000 and $100 for those below. In Igbo language, you call it that is, put this and chop this. It's Ponzi. It is scam. It's Ponzi. It's scam. You turn it 360. It is what it is. You cannot invest $1,000 and in 40 days you reap how much? $4,000. Where? Even if it is in the oil business, where will you get that kind of profit? In fact, if it is profit, it is profiteering. It's no longer profit. When you get a profit, you tear it, profiteering. That is what it is called, and it doesn't last. It does not ever last. So, but the bigger question for me is, where is the EFCC and all of that? Where are the security agencies? Has it been approved again? I thought it's been clamped down and all of that. So we need to hear all of this. Unfortunately for our people, the very greedy people will still pay money to see. It's like if you want to catch a fowl, you throw corn. By the time you throw the corn, it gets into a cage and you trap it. That's exactly what is happening. So my advice to people, if you have lost money, please go look for money and do another business. This thing is not going to work. Anyhow you try it, head or tail is going to fail.
I don't have any advice for the people. If you feel like you want to put your money there, go ahead. You understand wisdom that says it's profitable to direct.
That's an advice.
When you have not survived from the first one, you invested, you want to invest something. Now, you asked a question that I had also in my mind to ask, and that is, SEC, that's security agency, have they come up to tell Nigerians that this particular CBEC now is registered? Remember, they told Nigerians that anyone that was not registered, we should not invest in it. So have they registered CBEC again at this point in time? The EFCC boss, have you been able to nab them to make sure that they send back the money? Because you told Nigerians that you are working on making sure you got these people for them to be able to return the money they've scammed Nigerians off. Have you done that? And then for the people coming up to, if you have $100 or $200 at this point in time, the recent exchange rate, and you don't have any other part you want to invest this money in apart from what will give you quick money, go ahead, success in your endeavors. That's the only thing I can say regarding this one. It's laughable that every day you people fall into things that make tears to come, things that will make you to feel like committing suicide, and then you still find another opportunity to delve or to move into such again. MMM showed Nigerians Shege Pro Max, and I'm surprised that persons are still investing in things that you don't even know how to handle. Cryptocurrency, this just success. Invest.
Some will call it greed. Others will call it ignorance. I call it hunger. Nigerians just want something that will increase their earnings, and hard work doesn't seem to be doing it anymore. People put in the work, but you see those who are not working as much as you are, and it's not as if they're more intelligent than you are or smarter than you are. They're raking in heavy funds. Some have gone the way of ritual killing, which is, terrible, which should be discouraged. And some have seen Ponzi schemes as a way of earning a little extra. And then the sensibilities are thrown out the window. You start to think, okay, maybe there's something to it. Or I don't need to work extra hard. I don't need to, maybe if I put this, some way, somehow, the machine can just double the money and the money will increase and print extra one and come my way. So intelligent people throw their sensibilities away just to get extra income. It's unfortunate. Yes, Fina did ask, what is the EFCC doing? The EFCC told Nigerians that they've been able to recover a certain amount of money. I'm not sure they mentioned the amount.
No, they didn't.
They didn't mention the amount. Okay, but they said they've been able to recover some money. If you're recovering and you're working with Interpol and FBI to nab these people, because you told us that a lot of them are foreigners that just came to Nigeria, used some Nigerians to register CBECs in Nigeria. How many of them have you arrested? I know some days back, I can't be specific as to the number of days back, but some days back, I saw a picture of a man and a woman in the dailies, wanted, on EFCC's wanted list concerning CBECs. No. Were they wanted or arrested? I can't even. You've arrested some. You're still looking for some. How many of them have you arrested? The international collaborators, how many of them have you been able to bring to book? You said you would disburse this money back to Nigerians. How do you intend to do it? Now, Nigerians are being fooled again to, put some money in. If you have a certain investment, you put some in and then you get more. Some will fall for it again, unfortunately so. Some will fall for this. But it's up to the relevant agencies, EFCC should protect Nigerians. It's their job to protect Nigerians from such financial crime. And Nigerians, please, please, I understand how tough things are, but this is not the way. This is not the way. This will not put food. This will not increase your earnings. Think of other businesses to do. That's all I will say in this regard. I think at this point we should go to the papers. Let's take a break. When we come back, we look at headlines from the dailies. Join us again.
Thank you so much for staying with us. It's still VOP this morning. And before our table, we have a whole lot of national dailies. We have the Daily Times newspaper, the Daily Independent, the Nigerian News Direct. We have the Blueprint, This Day, Nigeria Tribune, the Nation's Vanguard, and a whole lot more. And I would like to start off from the Daily Independent newspaper today. The window headlines are Nigeria's $5 billion oil-backed loan from Aramco at risk over oil price drop. Tinubu reaffirms commitment to revitalize Nigeria's infrastructure. Right after that story, Wike renames International Conference Center after him. The banner headline, PDP leaders mock Wike orders for affirming Anyanwu as scribe. Says Wike surrounded by expired feeding bottle politicians. Nigerians are refugees even when country not at war, Obi laments. Says we will count those who don't want 2027 election to count. Fubara won't be forgiven even if he joins APC party chairman. NAS to initiate bill to swear in president-elect in legislative chamber. 25 years after closure, NDIC begins liquidation dividends payment to premier commercial bank creditors. The bottom strip headline, nations must chart pathway to inclusive, productive workforce. That's coming from Minister, and the story is on page 6 of the Daily Independent newspaper.
All right, so I've been going through the papers, and that advertorial that's been on for the past 2 weeks just icks me again.
Right. And it's going to be, you better get used to it.
I'm not going to get used to this. Nigerians should question this. Really.
Because it's still going to stay for the next one.
It's unfortunate.
Quite unfortunate.
It's annoying. In as much as the papers are making money, which I don't have a problem with. But this is Nigeria's money being spent. You're commissioning what? Renovated things, roads that have been built already, and you're working on them, and you're advertising it like this. This is Nigeria's money, and somebody would put this in as money spent.
Money spent.
This is how you justify the money spent. Anyway, First newspaper has some other headlines. Tinubu immortalized. Abuja Conference Center now bears his name. It's actually Bola Ahmed Tinubu International Conference Center. Anyway.
Drum rolls. No, there should be drum rolls.
Amazing. Okay. First Lady Remi Tinubu honored with Ugo Simba Wan of Enugu. All right then. Impeachment looms as APC tells Fubara, make peace or go. Photos, court jails 9 Chinese for internet fraud in Lagos. Don't pay attention to busybodies, bystanders, Tinubu advises Wike. Adeboye pays courtesy visit to Alaafin. And we also have FG records 500% revenue surge in Q1 2025 after fuel subsidy removal, NOA report. IPOB urges Igbos to boycott June 12, denounces factions. Fire guts Rumomasi morning market in Rivers. These are the headlines on the cover page of First newspaper.
Yes, Moses, the story you read about fuel subsidy, I think is from Nigeria Orientation Agency.
Yes,
That is what
anyway.
they're reporting now about increase in fuel prices and all of that. Anyway, let's quickly run through the New Telegraph newspaper. World Bank raises Nigeria's 2025 growth forecast to 3.6%. That's interesting. Now, report. Oil price fall delays Nigeria Aramco $5 billion loan deal. I'll take that again for emphasis. Report. Oil price fall delays Nigeria Aramco $5 billion loan deal. So we are now borrowing $5 billion from Aramco. Or are we lending? I guess we are borrowing from them. Is Nigeria a creditor nation? No. Oh well, more stories there. Ondo Guba, PDP candidate rejects tribunal's verdict. Heads to appeal court. SEC directs firms to honor unclaimed dividend requests. Alleged 5.2 billion naira fraud. Court rejects ex-JAMB registrar's no-case submission. Nigerian archaeologist wins $300,000 Dan David Prize. That's a good one. Now the big story. Rivers APC to Fubara. Your visit to president won't save you. Says he hasn't shown readiness to settle with suspended Rivers House members. And pay for use of ICC facilities. Tinubu urges MDA's orders. And Obi votes must count in 2027. Nigeria needs ballot box revolution. Sam Amadi. Fulani cattle breeders declare 4 million cow loss to rustlers. $2 billion milk importation. Senate to institutionalize June 12 presidential address. Swearing in at NAS complex. Petroleum subsidy was a scam. Nigeria can't go back. Oji Carlo. Abia ex-governor remains respected leader of our party, APC Abia North. And the bottom strip headline, endocrinologist recommends fruits to boost diabetic patients' immunity. And that's all from the New Telegraph newspaper.
That's how far we can go in taking a quick peep on the cover page of the National Dailies. Do well to join Chukwuman Moses for the newspaper review prop, and that'll be on top of the hour at 10 a.m. here on Voice of the People Television. We'll go on a quick break, and when we come back, we'll dissect the first topic of conversation. Wike insists presidency must go to the South, even as he has already come up to pledge allegiance to the APC presidential candidate. Do well to stay with us.
We encourage you to click on the like button and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We are Voice of the People TV. Also follow us on all our social media platforms. We are at VOPTV Live. Visit our website www.vop.ng for fresh and trending news. Also watch us live on SLTV channel 264. VOPTV, Voice of the People Television.
We are the station that brings you stories from the people's perspective.
We'll let your voice be heard. On Political Lens, we'll bring you deeper insights into happenings within the polity.
We create equality of representative opinion and fairness in politics, economic and diverse conversations.
Here we bring you breaking news, fresh perspectives, as well as fact-based analysis.
Watch our extraordinary shows from the People's Voice, where we get to amplify the stories and concerns of everyday Nigerians to hashtag.
To Health Check, where we share practical wellness tips and bring you deep insights from medical professionals.
Maritime Frontiers will dissect issues on port operations and more.
Every time we talk about sport, it's everything that has to do with sport from the top to the finish. Just be with us, stay with us all of the time. We give you sporting activities just as you're bold, and that's what we do, and that's why we're called Voice of the People TV, and you already know.
We got you all covered.
Here, you have more than a voice.
The red carpets, awards, the razzmatazz, music, fashion, interviews, and more. Spotlight On Voice of the People Television, let's feed you with all the juicy stories in the global entertainment space, bringing you the glitz and glamour as it is hot. Stay tuned to Spotlight, 1 p.m. Monday to Friday. Spotlight on VOP TV. Entertainment like never before. Good morning. It's the start of a beautiful day. Well, start your day right with a healthy dose of news, fun, and inspiration. Join us on VOP this morning for the latest news, trending topics, and uplifting stories to set your day on the right vibe. From news and current events to lifestyle and entertainment, you are covered. VOP this morning, 8 a.m., Monday through Friday. Are you ready for the extraordinary? Something big is happening on your screen. Introducing VOP TV. Now streaming on SLTV channel 264. From breaking news to captivating conversations, news analysis, giving you all sides to the story. We break in-depth discussions on the issues that matter, from politics to sports, entertainment, and lifestyle. VOP TV on SLTV channel 264. Join us as we redefine what television means to you. Voice of the People Television, VOP TV. Now you have more than a voice. To know the happenings in the maritime sector, join us on the program Maritime Frontiers on VOP TV as we discuss key areas in the maritime sector, from aquaculture, maritime transportation, maritime labor regulation, oil and gas exploration.
All right, thanks for staying with us. And if you are just joining us, this is this morning on Voice of the People Television. The Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, FCT, Nyesom Wike, has called on the People's Democratic Party, PDP, to zone its presidential ticket to the southern region ahead of the 2027 general elections. While he stressed that in the spirit of fairness, federal character and inclusion, the PDP must formally zone the presidency to the south, citing the long tenure of northern leadership under President Muhammadu Buhari. The group also reaffirmed Senator Sam Anyanwu as the party's legitimate national secretary, insisting only he is constitutionally empowered to convene official meetings and issue notices. Meanwhile, President Bola Tinubu has urged the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, FCT, Nyesom Wike, like I told you, not to be distracted by busybodies and naysayers, but to focus on his mandate to transform the nation's capital. Well, we are joined here in the studio here in Lagos, where we are broadcasting from, by Barrister Darlington Agomo. Barrister is a political affairs analyst as well as VOP in-house analyst. Good morning, Barrister, and thanks for joining us on VOP this
Good morning, Okoro, Fina, and Moses. How are you?
Good morning, Barrister.
And beside him, we have Mr. Lawal Ekundayo, who is an educationist as well as political affairs analyst. Good morning, Mr. Ekundayo, and thanks for joining us.
Yeah, good morning.
And from our Oka outstation, we have been joined by Engineer Fimba Ajay, who is a political affairs analyst. Gentlemen, thanks for coming to VOP this morning.
I'm pleased to be here.
All right, thank you very much, Engineer. Good to have you. Barrister Darlington, let me start with you. Nyesom Wike was at the meeting of PDP stakeholders yesterday, and he said, look, the important thing to do, let's not make the mistake of 2023. The presidential ticket of the party must come to the south. In the south, we have 3 zones. He wasn't specific which zone he's talking about, but he said just to the south. And if you go back in the history, in recent history, in 2022, it was still the same southern ticket that caused problem for the PDP, which Wike himself acknowledged. Wike said, look, the ticket should come to the south, open, not to the southeast. But a lot of PDP members said, look, let's take it to the southeast, because Obasanjo had it in the PDP for the southwest, Jonathan had it in the PDP for the South-South. So it is natural justice that it goes to the Southeast. But Wike rejected and said, look, in all of this, let us throw it open. Article says if it doesn't go to the Southeast, then I'm in. And you all know what happened, what went down. Article grabbed the ticket, and that is the cause of the PDP problem up until this moment. Now we are back, or they are back to that same table, and Wike is insisting, let the ticket come to the South. Barrister, what is your broad reaction to what's going on in the PDP and yes, from Wike?
Nobody should listen to Wike. He thinks he's clever. Wike thinks that he's clever. He's not. Seriously, look at the calculation. The South already have APC in Tinubu. That is certain. Tinubu is going to contest in 2027. Now, if you now say PDP should now zone their ticket to the South, who is that person in the South that will take it? Have you seen where this man is going to? Who is that person in the South in PDP? Because what is it called? Peter Obi is the Labour Party. So who is that person that Wike is thinking of in PDP that they will zone the ticket to and he can challenge Tinubu? Who is that person? And that's what I'm telling. That's where I'm going. You can see the calculation.
So do you think he can actually contest against?
No. He will not. He will not.
Okay.
It's an indirect way of handing over the ticket to Tinubu.
So he will present himself.
He will not. He will not.
I don't understand.
No, he will not. He cannot challenge Tinubu, his master. No, it's not possible. He cannot. What will happen is that if PDP is zoning to the South,
yes,
Wike will look for a political featherweight, a surrogate, and who will not even win his state.
But Makinde is being propped up as well.
Sorry?
Sheyi Makinde.
No, Sheyi Makinde,
he's being propped up as well.
It's not possible. Look at it this way. Makinde cannot even challenge a Tinubu because he will just be there to play a spoiler for PDP. Not that he was actually going to contest. Where does Makinde start to challenge Tinubu? Where does he start? You can see the calculation of these people. They think that they are clever. Unfortunately, many people don't understand. They think that Wike meant well. No, he didn't mean well for PDP.
I've always asked this question. Let me ask you this question. If you have an APC in Tinubu, a Peter Obi in the Labour Party, and perchance PDP listens to Wike and zones their ticket to the South, even if it is non-Wike or is another surrogate, a featherweight, like you said. And so you have the three major political parties, bring out candidates from the South, and the North brings out one person. Where does that leave the South in the 2027 contest?
Yeah, that's what I'm telling you here, that in all of them, none of them can match what Tinubu is going to do with the financial watches he has. None of them. The North will only take some part of votes, but they may not make an impact. In all the fairness, nobody that Wike is trying to propose in the South here will challenge Tinubu and win that election. Are you getting what I'm saying now? So his proposal is dead on arrival.
But why do you say so, Barrister Darlington? Why do you say so? If you believe that the power resides with the people, we've been talking about people going out to cast their vote and all that. So why will you think that no person from the South will be able to, stand this particular gap?
Nigerians will be left with no other choice than to give Tinubu their vote instead of giving it to the North. Because this North and Southern is what Wike is trying to permutate.
But looking at how PDP have been operating thus far, for the time they have been there, the South actually have been able to produce presidency for the past 15 years, if I'm to use that word, and the North only have opportunity of 2 years.
Don't go there.
No, Barrister Darlington. If Wike come up now, we're looking at PDP, not Nigeria in general, we're looking at PDP. So if Wike is to come up to say, we want this to be in total fairness, isn't that a way of making it look like everything resides with the South?
What is the fairness here? When you have already strangulated PDP, for God's sake, I don't understand. When you have made PDP impossible to exist, is it not when you exist that you can now begin to think of what you will achieve or what you will not achieve?
But if we're looking at PDP constitution, Barrister Darlington, their constitution actually made this way, the way it was. That was actually the problem that made PDP to disintegrate to what it is today in 2023.
Okay. Wike worked against PDP. in every respect. We can make sure that PDP does not succeed. The role he played in Rivers State against his own party, where he took the vote of Labour Party and gave it to APC, please, is that a good investment?
Isn't that an aftermath of this trust? Isn't that an aftermath of what played out in PDP as a party?
Even at that, no, he shouldn't have. He should have allowed a level playing ground. That's what we are saying. Whether you like PDP, allow the game to be fair to all sides.
All right.
You don't just deliberately begin to work against other people, and then at the end of the day, you claim that you have performed. No. If you are using fraud to win election, how far will it take us to? If this election that went past now, that Tinubu won, if it has been free and fair, will anybody complain? If it has been free and fair, I will not even challenge it. I won't talk. But you use fraud, deceit, and all manner of things to win an election, and you want it to continue in 2027. And you are saying that I should clap for you and say, yes, you are doing so well. I mean, how does that work out? Is that what you mean by democracy? Look at what they are doing. Planting their own person, their own party member in IREC, in INEC. Is that part of the game? Is that what INEC electoral guidelines says?
Okay.
You are doing all these things and people are still clapping for you that you are doing so well, you are smart, you are strategic.
All right, Barrister, thank you very much. Let's bring in Mr. Elawale Kundayo into this conversation. Mr. Kundayo, what's your take with Wike's suggestion that the PDP should zone its ticket to the south?
Now, the thing is this: you can't be working on two sides. You can't be working on two sides. You must pick one, and he has already picked the side. So every other thing he's doing is working towards that side. He's with the president, and he has already, giving support to the president. So what are you not saying about the PDP? You are not on one side. You are
very hard to revive the PDP.
No, if you want to revive PDP, you have to be in PDP. Totally. They will see your loyalty. They will see your loyalty and be able to trust you. Now, you are working for the opposition, the main opposition of PDP, which is APC. You are with them. You are praising them. You are supporting the president. You want the president to go to 2027. And you want to revive PDP. That is also the opposition. How is that possible? It doesn't make sense now. It doesn't. It's so clear. It's so clear that he has a separate mission in PDP, which is totally not good. Because if you are in PDP, they will know totally you are in PDP. You are not with anybody. You are moving all over the place. You are trying to resolve problem in PDP. You are totally DA. But you are with APC. You are endorsing APC. You are working as officially with APC. You are having meeting with them. And then you want to be having meeting with PDP. You want to be making decision in PDP. That is totally a betrayal. That's totally betrayal. See, now, Atiku didn't work for somebody else. He's in PDP. No matter the abuse you want to insult him, whatever, he's still there. People say he has never left that place. Now, Obi is in labor. They said, where are you going to contest? He said, I'm still going to be in labor, even though he's doing some consultation. But he still openly declared you don't see him somewhere else. But this man is in two places, and his leg is there. So eventually, at the last minute, he's going to withdraw his leg. He's going to withdraw his support in this one and totally move it to the other one. By that time, it will be difficult for PDP to work because it will have caused enough problem there. That's why he's talking. All right, nobody should take him serious.
All right, then. Well, these are your permutations. But we have a virtual guest, Engineer Fimba. Engineer Fimba, good morning to you.
Good morning.
Good to have you join the conversations now.
Thank you very much.
I believe you've been following the news, and you've also been following the things that's been happening at the FCT, Wike, and at some point he was singing on your mandate we shall stand. So help me with your own permutation as to what Wike might be, what Wike might intend with the meeting that he held yesterday. Even though some have said those he met with are of little significance in the PDP because they are retired governors, and the rest. But what are your permutations as we work towards 2027?
Thank you. The entire scenario that is playing out with the subject my person on the topic is Wike. I think I will classify his kind of politics where you have the good, the bad, and the ugly. Wike is the ugly side of politics, where you have him in PDP, and then they are romancing him, and in APC they are even giving him more romance and more opportunities. It is quite unfortunate that a lot of other young politicians are learning from him. And he's setting up a very, very bad example for politics in our environment, in this part of the world. He will be surprised what's coming up, because younger politicians are very much intelligent than he is, and he is aging, and we are going to be reinventing another type of politics, where you now have that area where I call the bad politics. With most younger politicians bringing in a type of politics that is very, very bad and rugged, because Wike can have his way, and the presidency and judiciary and the parties, they cannot bring their hammers directly on him. I'm expecting that Wike should be punished in any way for anti-party activities outrightly, but unfortunately they don't have any voice, because all of them have been compromised. The same way in APC, I expect that they come on him directly, but it's unfortunate.
Exactly. I was sorry to
Wike is playing out a role. He's playing out a role that has been orchestrated by the presidency, and they are giving him all the full support, and they will be successful at it with Wike at the gauntlet.
Sorry to butt in, yes, and it's a good thing you still managed to land. I was going to ask, if you're asking that he be punished by who really? Because in the PDP he seems to have he seems to have the say. He seems to determine what is done.
You see, the punishment will come from board members. NEC members, PDP has very senior members who have been in the PDP before Wike, and so also APC have very senior members who have been in the APC before Wike. And if APC see that it is to their own benefit, because the presidency is calling the shots, they won't be able to punish him. But PDP should have everything it takes to punish him. And if they can't do that, it's very unfortunate, because most of them have been compromised. So I hold the NEC members responsible for punish Wike.
When you talk about sound, young, and intelligent politicians now coming up at this point in time, made mention of young persons becoming interested in politics. Now, are you taking out the fact that we have two persons, kinsmen, fighting over a particular position also within the PDP, the People's Democratic Party, who have Udo Koye and the likes of Samuel Anyanwu also fighting for the national secretary? So how intelligent are these two persons that they don't understand that maybe there's need for them to, come down and shoot the sword and let one person come over? These are Southeasterners now fighting for a particular single position. Even the one that the court sacked is still holding its way in the PDP. How intelligent are these young politicians?
They are watching what is playing out at national politics, and they are going to be testing their waters from their various quarters. Right now, you'll not be seeing much of the outcome of the activities they are carrying out. But in no distant time, I tell you, the intelligence will come to the fore. As a matter of fact, there are so many more politicians who are not yet, you've not seen on the fore, who are not yet coming, have not come down to dance under the rain. I tell you sincerely, so many more young politicians are warming up, and we're going to come. It's either we come in the good or the bad and the ugly way. So many more. I'm just giving you this because following up what is happening in the national and what the PPC is giving us under the presidency, you will be surprised. You'll be surprised. No distant time, many more things will be playing out. So the persons you have mentioned, however it is, I think I don't have much to say about them right now, but with time, I'll have a lot to talk about them.
All right then, time they say heals all wounds, and we will know a lot more in the course of time. But there's something there's something that time doesn't seem to be healing just yet, and that's the harm that it seems Siminalayi Fubara has done in Rivers State, because a PDP chairman did say that, look, in as much as he seems to be speaking to the president now, there are rumors that he might defect to the APC. do you think, sorry, APC chairman, I beg your pardon, yes, that was, do you think that if he defects to the PDP, do you think it will change anything in terms of relationship? Because we're talking about what's the relationship between Wike and you know the and his principal. Do you think it will change anything in Rivers State really going forward if he defects?
If I understand you correctly, you mean similarly Fubara defecting to APC, correct?
Yes, exactly.
Okay. Certainly, you know, Nigeria as it is right now, anything is possible. And I'll tell you that only thing that is very clear is that the politics of Nigeria is evolving at a great speed. Similarly, of course, you know, the campaign to APC, I won't be surprised because the president will have given him a very lofty, very soft landing and an opportunity where he's heading with him. So, similarly, can of course, in a short distant time.
Now, interestingly, let's that's our second conversation, really. But I just wanted to get your view because we're talking about what Wike is doing, how he seems to have warmed his way into the president's heart, and the president is giving him the go-ahead, asking him not to care much about what naysayers are saying. But let's deviate a little bit. I think I'll bring this one to the barrister. Barrister, let's deviate a little bit. Let's talk about Wike now naming an edifice after the president. And does he have the legal standing, the legal right by law to do so? He has renamed the Abuja International Conference Center. It's now to be known, well, he said it's now to be known as the Bola Ahmed Tinubu International Conference Center. And he also went ahead to say that, look, whoever wants to use the place now should pay to use the place. I mean, he appealed to the president that he should ensure that anyone that wants to use the place should pay. Tell us if, according to law, as a minister of the FCT, as a minister, he has the right to rename such an edifice without recourse to either the National Assembly or the Federal Executive Council.
Now, Moses, that is part of the infamy we are talking about. You see, the president have allowed Wike to be too rascally in FCT, telling us that he's performing, he's not performing. What he did is actually outside his mandate. He has no right. That edifice does not belong to Wike or Tinubu or APC. It's a national institution. And you don't just wake up and start renaming things on your own just to please Tinubu. It is very, very wrong. I remember when Jonathan wanted to rename Unilag as a Molag. He was reminded that that place is existing due to an act of parliament. And so you cannot on your own rename it. So such national institutions, a minister cannot just rename it without recall to the National Assembly. I am sure Tinubu is aware, Wike is aware, but because they have hijacked this country as their own personal property, they can do whatever they like and without anybody challenging them. These are the things we are talking about. If tomorrow now somebody come and say, look, let us do this in the right way. They say, you see, all the things Tinubu did in office, you see, they are destroying them. They are doing this. Was it Tinubu that built that place? It was not Tinubu. Somebody built it. Why didn't that person rename it in his name? To tell you how these people have destroyed everything we hold so dear. And people are celebrating it. People are clapping for it. This man will go ahead and rename Tinubu as Nigeria one day.
Do you think this renaming will have any effect, seeing that, you know, some structures, some things have been renamed, but then people still held on to the previous name. So is this something that we should just ignore? Like the Third Mainland Bridge now, it was renamed IBB Bridge, but nobody calls it IBB Bridge.
Look,
should we ignore this, or should we question this really?
It does not matter officially. Listen, officially, that place will be bearing that name. Whether you call it your father's name or your mother's name, it doesn't matter.
It will be bearing which name? It will be bearing which name? AICC or BATS ICC?
Yes, Bola Ahmed Tinubu International Conference Center. Because that is what the government recognizes. The national anthem that Tinubu renamed, can you show me one particular institution or radio station that is playing that former national anthem? Can you do it? You cannot. Even if you want to bear it in mind that this is the only national anthem, no, it doesn't matter. Officially, that is what we are talking about. What is the official recognition that is given to this particular edifice?
Okay, but Barrister, we are questioning home on this very topic. But Mr. Kundayo, in the course of while commissioning that project that was renamed after the president said, Minister, please, just continue with the good work you are doing. Ignore naysayers, critics, and all of that. What is the place of alternative voices in building a democratic culture in a growing nation like Nigeria? Is it right for the president to make that kind of comment? Even if the said minister is doing well? Does it come out good? Is it presidential?
It's reckless. It's reckless because we don't operate, even in a dictatorial system of government, people still speak and then they listen. But now you are saying, what do you mean by busybodies? What do you mean by naysayers? Focus on your mandate. I don't understand what you mean by busybody, because busybodies is a negative word to somebody. If you want to insult somebody, you use the word busybody. Yeah, because it's a colloquial, I think, English for insulting somebody. So who exactly are you insulting? You are the president of everybody now. And you must, because you criticize others during their own time. And criticism is surely part of democracy. It's totally part of democracy. You can't take it away. It's what moves government forward. People must look at what you are doing. It's either when they look at it, they praise you, or they point out some areas they think you need to improve. And then you listen to them and you say, well, I don't know why the president used the word busybodies. Is it? I don't know who's talking, because even we criticize international countries too. Nigeria criticizes international countries. We say it. And they talk about us too. So who are we referring to as busybody? So our president should be careful with the choice of word, because he's our number one man, and is our face internationally. Because internationally, you'll be.
The fact that this is not the first time, some persons within the corridors of power have said worse things to Nigerians. I could recall when someone was trying to tell Nigerians that they should stop, castigating the work of the president. They said, if you have not seen what are the fruits this particular present administration and its principle is yielding, that shows you are blind, you're dumb, you're deaf. These are more the degrading words that they have actually used.
Do you know when Blair, I think it was Tony Blair, that said Nigeria was fantastically corrupt? There was a serious backlash. We could have, a serious backlash from Nigeria. And I remember the case of this protest, this fuel protest in France. Nigeria, we contributed now. Nigeria spoke about it. Which are so many things we have talked about other countries too. And then they didn't call us busybody. Now, if the president is calling his own citizens busybody, I don't understand what else. Because that's why it's like some people are afraid that the country is moving towards a one-party system, which is a dictatorial type of system. That's why people are afraid of it.
All right, then. Thank you very much, gentlemen. We'd like you all to stay with us as we get into another conversation now. Fubara joining APC won't wipe away your sins. We are not a dumping site. APC warns. Let's get into this conversation when we come back from this break.
Are you ready for the extraordinary. Something big is happening on your screen. Introducing VOP TV. Now streaming on SLTV channel 264. From breaking news to captivating conversations, news analysis, giving you all sides to the story. We break in-depth discussions on the issues that matter, from politics to sports, entertainment, and lifestyle. VOP TV on SLTV channel 264. Join us as we redefine what television means to you. Voice of the People Television, VOP TV. Now you have more than a voice.
We encourage you to click on the like button and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We are Voice of the People TV. Also follow us on all our social media platforms. We are at VOP TV Live. Visit our website www.vop.ng for fresh and trending news. Also watch us live on SLTV channel 264. VOP TV, Voice of the People Television.
Welcome back. It's still VOP this morning. The Rivers State chapter of the All Progressives Congress, APC, has rejected the idea of suspended Governor Similayi Fubara joining the party to avoid political consequences. APC Caretaker Chairman Tony Okocha stated that Fubara's problems are self-inflicted, not due to persecution, and warned that defection would not shield him from accountability. Okocha also noted that Fubara has not begun any official defection process or reconciliation efforts. He downplayed the governor's recent Salah visit to President Tinubu, calling it personal. Despite ongoing talks involving Tinubu, Wike, and Fubara, Okocha said that no concrete reconciliation steps have been taken, though speculations remains that Tinubu might reinstate Fubara during the June 12th celebration of democracy. We still have with us in the studio Mr. Lawale Kundaya, who is an educationist, farmer, and a political analyst. And from our Benin studios, we'll be joined by comrade leftist Godspower Okumbo, who is a public affairs analyst. And there in Oka, Anambra State, we still have engineer Fimba Ajegu, who is also a fellow in Nigerian Safety Engineers and member Nigerian Society of Engineers, join us to help dissect this particular topic. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for being with us. Good morning, comrade Godspower. We just need to establish communications to, have a free and seamless conversation. Good morning, if you can hear me. All right, engineer Fimba, are you still there?
Yes, I'm here very well.
All right. Earlier, my colleague needed to get your opinion on this particular topic, talking about what is happening. You talked about time, healing fast and everything, and he raised this particular question about how much of the time that can heal this issue happening in River State now, where we have the likes of Tony Okocha coming up to tell Similayi Fubara that even if he joined the All Progressives Congress, like we see so many other persons do, the governor of the Delta State, even that of course, and all that, moving over to APC, that he's not going to in any way mitigate the punishment that they have in store for him, saying that he cannot avoid the political consequences, even if it's to cross carpet. Help us walk around this particular one as we also link it to time, healing all wounds, like you just said.
Time the case has become the same. APC has provided a platform such that wherever party you are, once you come to APC, certainly all your sins are forgiven. And Okocha is just giving his own personal view, and I think that does not matter much. because the party has made it clear, and examples are there for us to see. Once you decamp, it is obvious all your sins are certainly forgiven, because the parties are the end of their affairs, and they determine what EFCC does, what ICPC does, what the Chief of Army Staff does, what the Chief Judge does, and then what also the Inspector General of Police does. So it is certainly very clear, and Fubara is looking towards any of his sins, which of course, if he has one, because I don't think Fubara really genuinely has any case of sin, just that he has a disagreement with his predecessor, and then he didn't play the role which his predecessor expected of him to play. So if he's joining the APC, they want him to come, and then they can give him some soft landing, and then make a headway for him to continue to do the things that the party so wish that he does.
Don't you think, engineer, that mandating or cajoling or pushing persons that don't want to be in APC to be in APC because they want to get a soft landing and their sins forgiven will lead to the party implosion? Don't you think that will lead to APC imploding?
No, you are bargaining, because as a matter of fact, the presidency have a lot of details about, they have his profile, they have similar profile and every other thing which he may have committed while he was working under the governor then, Wike. So they have every other details that you can use to nail him if they want to nail him. Because certainly working under Wike, you may have committed directly or indirectly, which is against the constitution and the law of the Federal Republic of Nigeria somehow, somewhere. So if they really want to nail him, they will nail him. So they are giving him an opportunity, which I think is an olive branch that he should embrace, and then join the party. And then, like you can see, it is everywhere happening right now. The governors, a good number of governors are happily decamping to APC, and they are celebrating it, and it's an achievement for APC. So,
all right, Engineer Fimba, let me stay with you. It's quite interesting. The story is getting more interesting. You said that Tony Okocha is speaking as a person. You also know that he is the caretaker chairman of the APC in Rivers State. So I'm not sure that he spoke as Tony Okocha, but rather as the chairman of the APC. Away from that, you also recall that the 27 lawmakers, that defected and said they didn't defect again. Nobody even knows where they are today. Okay, they say they are still in the PDP, that they didn't leave to the APC. And they are also saying, look, in all of this, what do you think is the chances of Fubara surviving, his political career surviving, because head, he's confronting Wike, tail, he's confronting Okocha at the party level. If you understand the politics that you are talking about, moving over to the APC and your sins being forgiven, Antonio Okocha coming out clearly to say, it is not enough for you to move to APC. You still have more to do. What do you think? Do you think that Fubara's political survival, even if he is reinstated as governor by June 12, as some people are speculating, what are the chances that Fubara's political career will go beyond 2027?
Yes. I think that Fubara has to prove his onions that he is a good politician, and he's going to sail through the turbulent times, because Okocha is giving him an aspect of that turbulence, which is as the chairman of Rivers State. So if Fubara has to be able to sail through the turbulence, then he will come out a champion, and they will tell him well done, and kudos to him. Wike didn't just sail through easily. He had a lot of turbulent times, and he went through them all. So also they want him to be sharpened as a politician. For him to come into APC, he has to go through these turbulent times. Which will
so engineer, so far, how will you rate Fubara as a politician? So far, how will you rate him on a scale of 0 to 10?
Fubara for me is a good politician. He's a good politician, but not the ugly one. Neither is he a bad politician. So he's a good politician, and if he has to remain good, I'm sorry, he won't be able to be accommodated in APC. He has to join either the ugly or the bad side. So he has to play such a role so that they will bring him in. So as a politician, which they're now testing him to see if he can go through the turbulent times and sharpen himself, he has to do something that is
what is your description? How do you characterize a good politician in Nigeria? Is it the one?
A good politician for me.
Okay.
For me, is someone who holds firmly certain values in the morning, in the afternoon, and in the evening. Any time of the day, he holds the value high.
So will you describe? So when you describe Fubara as a good politician, what values does he hold now? Because he's in one breath he's saying here, and in another breath he's there. Does that make him a good politician?
In my own view and description of what I'm trying to explain to you, is that he has values that over time he's trying to keep.
Values like can you mention?
Values certainly like holding firm to serving the people genuinely and not subjecting himself to any godfatherism and not paying any kind of attention to who brought him in. That is his godfather, which is the same thing that I'm telling you that if he can keep Wike aside and say no, he's going to lead selflessly, he's going to serve the people, he's not going to listen to anybody.
The same godfather has gone back to beg. He has gone back to him to beg. The same godfather.
If he's gone back to the father, well, that's not a good position anymore.
Okay.
That shows that he's also joining the bad politics, which they are playing out in our country.
All right.
And he has to play it in the ugly way, to as much as they are giving it to him. So he has to join them to play it in the ugly way, because a lot of things go into the politics which APC is presenting in this our country. I will not call such good politics.
Thank you so much, Engineer, for that submission. Now, let's take it to Benin, where we have Comrade Leftist Godspower Kumbo. Good morning, Comrade, once again. Now, what do you make of the fact that at this point in time, some persons are actually, all right, I was just told that I guess maybe we lost communication to that. Now, Mr. Lawale Kundayo, some persons like Okocha have come up to say that even if Fubara is to join APC at this point in time, that the consequences of his action he must face it. That his sins at this point in time will not be forgiven, just like some persons were being told that when you cross compared to a particular party in Nigeria, your sins will be forgiven. Now, help us walk around this also with the fact that a whole lot of Nigerians believe that Fubara is not going to, sell off his birthright over the fact that he wants to maintain or be into power. Just suppose that the fact that he also come up to say that his mind is not even there anymore, being the #1 person in River State, telling the people who are fighting for him now to stop that. Maybe he's not even interested in maintaining that position again.
Now, one thing is this, we all know clearly that APC, when you decamp to APC, your sins are forgiven. So the other man that is saying that is just trying to find maybe sunglasses to cover his conjunctivitis eyes. We all know what is here. That the moment your sins are, you cross over your sins, they forget your sins. We know what happened in the Kogi State governor with all the singing and everything. We know the drama, and they're all over with the senators and so many of them and the governors. It's not that they are happy decamping, but something is there. That is why you see them hurriedly decamping. If you are happy, you will have thought about it, but the way they are doing it in a hurry and they're singing the praises and of APC, it's like something is not right. It's that they are not in their right. Many of them are not in their right. It's not what they want. So we know that the moment you cross over to APC, your sins are forgiven. Then another thing is that the crop of politicians we have these days, they are not politicians that are of value. They don't really understand the meaning of politics, because many of them think politics is something you just get into power, or you get a post and then you do what you like. That is not politics. That is not the way to play it. It's unfair. Look at somebody like Ladoja in Oyo State. When he had issue with the people in his house, they impeached him. He didn't fight. He went to court. Court reinstated him back. And he told them if PDP did not give him the ticket for second term, he will not go elsewhere for ticket. And he maintained it. And up till now, he didn't stay more than 1 term. So we have not like that. You will stay this 4 years or 8 years. What else? You will still have to leave the place eventually. Why not maintain your value, in which some people will see that you have a good legacy? Now, you are now going back to beg some certain people, and then it's already affecting your values. Look at Natasha. She's new in politics, and she's fighting. And people begin to wonder, this lady is new in politics. She has never had, I don't think she has held any political post before. And look at the way she's fighting. That's a value. That's a politician. That has a value.
Well,
she's not begging anybody, and she keeps fighting.
Well, you can't tell just yet because the case is still ongoing. But let's stay with the conversation that we're having. Let's go to Benin, where we have Comrade Leftist Godspar Okumbo. Good morning to you, Comrade.
Thank you. Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Good morning to you all. Good morning, viewers.
Good to have you, John.
It's a very heavy, a rainy day today in Benin City.
Okay. Oh well. Well, good to have you join this conversation. Let's talk about principled politicians. Do you think we've run out of principled politicians? Like, do they still exist in Nigeria? And where is the definition of democracy as we know it, government of the people, for the people, by the people? Where does it come to play? If the politics we are playing in Nigeria now is government of the people in power for their selfish interest, all right, especially tilting towards the man at the helm of affairs so they can get benefits. And then now we are talking about if you move to one party, your sins may or may not be forgiven. Where is the role of justice? Where is the role, especially for those that milked their states, those that have embezzled funds? Where is the role of justice in the politics, in Nigeria's democracy, in everything that we are doing in Nigeria? Have we lost it completely, or is there hope?
The last one, I like the question, is there hope? Well, that is why we are here. That's why we are still talking to the people. We cannot agree or accept it that Nigeria is going to end like this. There is hope. But the big problem we have right now is the people whom we see, the politicians. There is no principled politicians in Nigeria right now. There is no. It's so unfortunate. At the beginning, we have persons who appear to be sent before the people. They will promise, and the way they will be talking, one will say that this person, in short, many of us have vouched for some of these politicians at the beginning, and at the end, we had our face in shame because they turn something else, the opposite of whom they say they were when they were coming. Imagine when a politician will come into power through a particular political party, and just to sustain that power, you have to decamp. And this is where principle comes in. For God's sake, there are other jobs. Most of them are well to do. They have businesses. I don't understand the reasons why they have to decamp just to keep their power. That is to tell you that their interest is not for the people. It's not for the good of the country.
Isn't that part of democracy, comrade?
It is not. No.
Freedom of association, freedom of anything you want, freedom of speech.
I agree with you.
Isn't that also what democracy champions?
Of course. But in the other way around, the reason why they have chosen to run is to serve the people. Now, in the midst of storms, let me put it that way, in the midst of difficulties where you are being frustrated, you cannot act as in representing the people indeed. Then what is the essence of being there? There's no cause, there's no just cause you are going to fight for. Let me tell you what happened. Immediately after the camp, you will now be given a script to act, whether as a governor or what have you. And that is what is being played today. In Edo State here, the former governor came in as he came through APC, Governor Godwin Obaseki. And it has become, I don't know, is it believed or a mentality to our people, especially these politicians, who was voted in and they came in. To them, it is a right, I don't understand, that they must complete 8 years in office. Now, Obaseki did the first year, the first 4 years, And issues came in between him and his people in the APC, and he want to continue. So he needs somewhere. He needs somewhere to drive. That was how he came to PDP, and he also completed 8 years. You can see where we are.
So who should we hold responsible now? The people that still voted him into power, or what? I mean, because it's about the people. I'm hoping you will tell me the role the people are playing in all of this, and the role the people should play in all of this, especially in getting what they think they deserve, dividends of democracy.
See, to be sincere,
or are you alluding to the fact that the people have absolutely no say in who governs them?
The people have a say, my brother. The people have a say, but the truth of the matter is that it will take drastic steps of the people to hold these people to ransom, to make sure it is democracy indeed. I will not go there, sir. I know what I'm trying to say.
Oh, please.
Because as far as I'm concerned now,
let's go there. Let's go there. What are those steps?
Okay, I'm coming.
Okay.
For now, Nigeria has lost hope in our electoral process.
Okay. So
when he said the people voted him, okay, I agree. At the end of the day, it is the people that came out, they have cast their vote. So, and a result, a winning person has been mentioned. So whether it is the people vote that is counting or not, we have done our election. Now, aside that, when you say let's go there, what is the way forward? Because let me tell you, politicians will not stop. This is what they will continue to do. This is what they will. At the time, I joined forces a voice with some persons who say let military take over. Because we need to retrace our step and start again. If we leave things the way it is, politicians, they don't have conscience. They will continue to deprive the people of that democracy.
But of course, we will not support a military takeover. We will not support.
Yes, but some time ago, because of what we have seen,
no, but
we will
regardless, like it is said, the worst democracy is still better than the best
military regime.
Military rule, yes.
Not in Nigeria.
Yeah. Okay. Now, our best. You have asked a question.
Okay.
What can the people do? Because if you think I'm going to tell you they should have their PVC, they should come out and cast their vote.
I was hoping you would say that. But
no, I will not say that.
Okay.
I will not say it.
So what?
That has been the process. And that process has not been giving us the exact result.
What process will give us the result now? What process will give us the result now?
The truth of the matter, the people should shine their eye. The only thing I am afraid with our people is the fact that they are easily convinced. They are easily bought over. They look, or some of our people almost look like this.
But you don't seem to want to help us make headway here by letting us into the way forward, the process that will guarantee the choice of the people count. What do you advise?
All right. Since this you are, because I know what you are asking, sir. I've heard you. I've heard you. Like I said earlier, what you want me to say is that the people should go get their PVC, cast their vote.
No, that's not what I want. I don't want you to say anything in particular.
The way forward is for those in authority. Like I think you are aware that 2027 election, they have started campaigning, they have started making arrangements. We have so many issues in the country that have not been addressed. And right now, one of the aim or one of the agenda that politicians, so to say, are looking up to, are working on now is how to win election.
You seem to be afraid of saying the way forward. Are you afraid that somebody might come for you if you propose a way forward?
I'm only considering the fact that this is a TV station. I've told you something about military takeover. You said
Okay.
no.
All right. So, sorry, comrade Godspower. That's essentially your position, your opinion, and not that of the Voice of the People television. There's permit me to put you on the spot, because like you are trying to evade the question. You have already given an answer which doesn't sit well with this station. We are in Edo State, and I'm happy that we are discussing this crossing over, from PDP to APC. In Edo State, can you give us a very brief update of what is happening regarding the people that moved from PDP to the APC in the House of Assembly? What is the position of the House of Assembly of Edo State now? Are they all APC or all PDP? Can you give us a brief update for us to know?
The last time I checked, we have not had the camp. We have rumors.
Okay.
We planned the camp. We already know, for instance, there are some news that was coming up about the Speaker of the Edo State House of Assembly, which of course we know is preparing him to do that, and many other politicians. That is the position right now in Edo State.
Okay, all right, very well then. We are running out of time. Please, we'll ask you to stay with us for the next topic of conversation. Let's come back to you. Okay, thank you very much. Now, let's come back to you, Engineer Fimba Ajewu. What is your prescription? What will you want the people to do ahead of the 2027 general elections? Because we are looking for solutions now. We're not just talking about problem. Everybody, even my boy in high school, understands that we have problems. What is the way forward? What can we do as a people to hold our leaders to account from the point of electing them into office?
Are you done?
Yes, Fimba, you. Yes, go ahead, sir.
Okay. It looks like there's a little interference. Okay. I'd like to prepare solutions in this format, okay? First of all, we know that the tradition of PVC, you have to update your PVC, you have to ensure you have your registered and then get your PVC, change your new locations and all that. It took place, this happened in 2023, and people voted and all that. So this time I want to encourage that TV stations, all media outlets, orientations should be improved upon, so that more awareness. People need more awareness in the schools, in the marketplaces, in public spaces and all that. So that even the international environment, I think the platform where people can vote from outside the shores of the country will be provided, such that people, Nigerians who have been registered, who have their PVC and that are outside the shores of this country, they must be included in the voting process.
All right, but some have said that Nigeria is like a kingdom that is suffering violence and needs the violence to take it by force, because those at the helm of affairs are just doing what they like. Do you think that analogy applies? Should there be some sort of violence to take it by force?
Nigeria is not a violent environment, sincerely. It's only a few who make it look like it's a violent environment.
It's suffering some violence.
But Nigeria, sincerely, in my view, is not a violent environment. Nigeria is a very rugged environment, however, but not a violent one. We need to take rugged measures. Like when you have to vote, you must stand firm. No matter who is intimidating you, you also have to ensure that your vote is counted, because they will only use every kind of means to intimidate or put fear into people, and then so that they can have their way. But
when you say Nigeria is not a violent space and all that, some will also disagree, because we saw what played out during the 2023 election. Even some persons sustained injury that have been inflicted on them by opposition members. We saw a video where a particular individual in Nigeria is telling others not to vote, thereby disenfranchising them. Now, let me get your opinion on this, a quick one. Personally, do you think that by June 12, when we celebrate Democracy Day in Nigeria, that Fubara will be reinstated as the governor of River State? Do you think that can happen?
If Fubara becomes, if he subjects to what APC wants him to do, certainly they can, just put the magic wand and then they swing it, and then he becomes take him back as the governor of River State. That's what I think will play out. If he says yes, he's going to dance to the tune of APC. then they give it to him, and then he comes back as governor.
All right, thank you so much, engineer. Let me also ask you this also, Mr. Lawale Kundayo. Are we seeing Fubara coming in for us to celebrate democracy today? Nigerians have been talking about his suspension, the state of emergency River State being undemocratic and all that. So do you think we're having a hope that by June 2, when Nigerians will be celebrating Democracy Day, that Fubara will go back again, be restated as a governor of River State, and the state of emergency that was declared there by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu being overturned?
When you use the word hope, I don't know, it shattered what I wanted to say, because when it comes to hope in Nigeria, I don't know where the hope is. So what we are just doing is hoping or speculating, you get it, that it will be like that and everything, and the democracy will be restored back to River State. But when you say the president or the presidency, until it's declared, I won't be able to say that I have hope that it will happen in June 12. But I know for sure that thing has caused a lot of backlash.
Do you think it will exceed the 6 months?
That's why I said I don't have hope when it comes to, I don't believe anything that comes from the government of the day until I see it.
So you think
until I see the day it's declared, I will now know that it's true.
So you think the state of emergency might exceed 6 months?
It's possible.
The initial 6 months.
Because I don't understand this government. Well, there are so many things they say you verify and it's that it's not true. Even when they say it, talk less of when people are speculating. That is that. Then the second one. Now you were saying something about the way forward.
Yes.
Politically.
Yes.
See, the main problem we have politically in this country is that our political parties are not democratic. Most of them are not democratic. That's the problem. So you see members. The members that you see in that place follow the ideology of mostly one particular person or certain number. They don't have a say in that party. That is the main problem that we're having. That's why you see, for example, the one that happened in my area, a councillor that has gone second term wanted to do the third term, and he got the ticket, whereas majority did not want it. But somebody said no, he must get that third ticket. The third ticket, and he got it. Right. And they are saying, and that's why you see some of we were talking about reconciliation in APC in Lagos State. That was one of the reasons. Because the people, they don't have a say. In many of these democratic parties, they don't have a say. The parties are not democratic. So therefore, the people who are members must ensure, they must fight that the party become democratic before you can now say you rule democratically in the country.
Then, thank you very much, Lawale Kundayo. Now let's get into another conversation. We are not fighting a war, but our people are suffering like refugees. Words of Peter Obi. Let's examine this when we come back. Join us again. Well, Labour Party's 2023 presidential candidate, Peter Gregory Obi, has condemned the worsening insecurity and economic hardship in Nigeria, describing the country as a crime scene in desperate need of repair. Speaking at a book launch in Abuja, Obi lamented that despite the absence of official war, millions of Nigerians live as refugees within and beyond the country. He criticized government's neglect, stating Nigerians are in IDP camps, that's internally displaced persons camps, at home, and refugees in countries like Chad and Cameroon because we lack a caring government. Obi warned that the current trajectory is dangerous, comparing it to a failed state like Afghanistan and Lebanon, and urged Nigerians to dismantle the system that perpetuates suffering. Oh well, we still have with us Lawale Kundayo. From Benin, we have Comrade Godspa Okumbo and Engineer Fimba Ajebu from Oka. Gentlemen, we appreciate you for your time on the program. Let me start off with Engineer Fimba on this one. Well, Peter Obi said, look, the people should dismantle, the system that makes them, that has rendered them refugees in their own country. But this system is basically insecurity that is holding sway in some parts of the country, and it's creeping into other parts. It's coming down south right now. It used to be up north, but then it's coming down south right now. Can the people, see, we are back to the people now. The people themselves that do not have the, that cannot wield weapons, the people themselves that cannot exactly form vigilantes except there is some sort of local government law or something, or some sort of law to empower that. How much can the people do in defending themselves? I know T.Y. Danjuma and some other Nigerians have said, look, Nigerians, defend yourself. But how much can the people do in terms of defending themselves? And I say this in the light of a report that broke. I mean, it's happened many times, but the very recent one is from Zamfara State, where bandit leader or terrorist leader, whichever appellation you choose to use, Turji Bello, has given an order that, look, pay 50 million naira or vacate your community. He's basically told the people, leave your homes or you pay me. If you pay me, I protect you. If you don't have the money to pay me, go away. So, how do you react to this? Engineer Fimba, I do believe we still have you. If we don't have you, oh, well, unfortunately, I understand that Engineer Fimba is not in at the moment. So, well, if you heard my question, Comrade Godspar, can you take it away from there? Go ahead, please.
Okay. Yeah, very well. Thank you. Peter Obi has actually made mention of what Nigerians are faced with. And it's so fortunate, Nigeria indeed are refugees in their own country. Now, for Nigerians, like you said, the people to take over, we have also come back, just like you have said earlier, we have also come back to the people. Now, if the people will join forces, it can result to civil disobedience. What the people need to do is to stand. We have had countries who have gone to their National Assembly, drive everybody out because they are not doing the needful, and begin to call that things, they trace their steps. Now, let's go back to our election, which is the only way to get our leaders, our politicians, voted into political offices. The people, because earlier when I was talking, I make mention of how much our people are also being influenced. The people must be able to ignore influence from politicians. They must stand on their right and on the ground. During the election, so many things happen, so many things. We have people till now who still go to election ground with their PVC looking for those who will give them bigger money, and they will vote for them. We still have this kind of people. So it is time for our people to realize that what they are doing is killing the country the more, and stand to reject such process, stand to vote for the persons of their choice. It is not even of individual choice. The people should come together, leave political differences. In short, our people should not be political minded when it is election time, because that is where our problem is. This one is from Party A. I had an issue this morning of a friend who is said to be a publicity secretary to one politician in Edo State here, and the politician that said politician is decamping to a different political party, so he resigns. It maybe it's right, maybe it's not, but we have to look beyond political parties. If that politician has been doing well as a representative in the constituency when he came from, if If what he is doing is so correct, then you should be that you will follow that person to continue doing what is right. So it is the people's decision at this time. We need to stand together in unity and take decisions that will better this country.
Thank you so much, Comrade Mr. Lawale Kundayo. A whole lot of persons have been talking about Nigerian insecurity also, not just Peter will be chiming into on this particular one. Have a Arewa Consultative Forum also talk about it today. And so many persons, even the Khan of the 19 northern states also were talking about insecurity in Nigeria. Do we need anybody actually to let the political elites or the persons within the corridors of power here in Nigeria understand that Nigerians are living like refugees, even when there is no war in Nigeria? And if that actually should be the case, then why do you think that no one is doing anything at this point in time to make sure that we restore peace and sanity in Nigeria? Because the way things are going, Nigerians are being sacked from their ancestral homes, sent to IDP camps, not just IDP camps at this point in time. They are being now, littered everywhere. The other day we got a report of, I think, over 90 or thereabouts persons moved to Lagos State seeking for a job from just a particular individual. Help us walk around this.
Now, the thing is this. The only people that can make the government know that there is insecurity in Nigeria is still the people. The people that are supposed to let Nigerian government know that there's a problem, there's insecurity in Nigeria, are still the people. The people are refusing to let the government know that there is insecurity. Why? Because you are not taking actions to make the government see that you mean business.
What action can the people take to make government see that they mean business?
Protest.
How well has that worked?
It's because Nigerians are not doing. If some people call out protest, I say protest has gone on in America, in LA. The president is already on his toes in LA, just LA, trying to prevent from split. Now, if you call out a protest in Nigeria now because of insecurity, that the whole country should sit at home.
Let's draw
for insecurity. Let's you see people say, which one is my business? I'm going to my working place now.
Los Angeles.
Because they don't have a job, that is why they are sitting at home.
In Los Angeles, there is a protest going on, and the president, decided to federalize some guards. Basically, we've seen that water cannons and rubber bullets are what is being used right there. In Nigeria, in the protests we've had, I don't know, you may not remember the exact figures, but I can tell you that for every protest we have had in Nigeria from 2020 up until now, we've had at least 2 people dead from gunshots from the police. Do you think that makes parents happy to want their children to go out there? Don't you think the government itself has cowed the people in such a way that the people will be afraid of protesting? How well has street protest done? How well has it helped Nigerians to let government know to know about the grievances of the people?
Now, I'll tell you the protest I did. I did protest in 1992-93 in my school when we were being oppressed by the staff, both the teaching and non-teaching staff. We were oppressed, and then they suspended the union at that time for 6 years. I got to that school, my first year, I was one of the people who moved the protest. I started the protest.
Okay.
And then they brought police on the street. We were there. It got to a level, they had to give us that union. We won, they gave us the union. I'm coming. There was no killing.
From 2020 up until now.
Sorry, Mr. Kundayo, we are running out of time. Okay. So let's move away from protest and stay with the issue at hand. You brought it in that the people are not doing enough.
Yes.
Now, is it discomforting to you? Does it bother you that in the 8 years of Buhari administration, that insecurity festered?
No,
I'm sorry. I'm coming. That insecurity festered, and the North, as a bloc, couldn't even cry out. We had pockets of voices here and there. But within the 2 years of the Tinubu administration, the North is so vocal, very vociferous about insecurity in the North in particular. So how much responsibility should the Northern leadership take for the insecurity that is pervading the country? Because essentially, that is where it started. But they are the ones crying more now about insecurity. Meanwhile, during the time of their son, they didn't do that. And I'd like for you to join your concluding thoughts with that, because we are out of time.
See, anytime we have issues, we begin to try to create politics out of it. Is there insecurity now, or there's no insecurity? Is it better? It's not better now compared to when Buhari was there. It's not better. And these people cried out. Even when they don't cry out during the time of Buhari and they are crying out now. The question is there insecurity or there is security? Is it mild or is worse?
Exactly.
It's worse
you say
now.
We always playing politics. So aren't they playing politics also with the insecurity?
It's worse than before. So if it is worse than before, maybe they didn't cry down and they are crying now. There's still no difference. The difference is that there's insecurity. Whether they don't cry that time, whether they cry now, the question is there insecurity or there's no insecurity? The question is, there is insecurity. If they don't cry that time and they are crying now, that doesn't hold water. The thing is this: is there insecurity or not? There is insecurity and they are crying.
People will disagree with you when you say that it is worse now than then. But that's your opinion anyway. So can we have your concluding thoughts?
My concluding thought is that Nigerians need to take actions. They need to take action. Stand up from your slumber and take actions. Take action. You are the one that needs to tell the government that this is what you are feeling, and you have to feel it, and you have to say it in the voice. If you have a child at home and you have not fed the child, and you send the child an errand, the child will not go. The child will say that if you beat the child will continue crying until you have to listen to the child.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ekundayo. Now, let's come back to you, Mr. Lefty Comrade Okumbo. Please, can you give us your concluding thoughts? We are out of time.
Nigeria should take over. Nigerians should take over. You see, one thing, we are talking about protest. What Nigeria needs is even more than protest, but it's peaceful. It is not in a particular state. The 36 states where that makes Nigeria, including the FCT, citizens in all of these places should stand and shut down their state.
All right then.
For those in authority to listen.
All right, protest is the way to go. Protest is the way to go. Now to you, Engineer Fimba Ajewu, do we still have you, sir? And if we do, let's have your concluding thoughts, sir.
Well, sincerely, for a beautiful country like Nigeria, I think it's a top-bottom approach. We must first of all vote the right leader in, and then when we get all our voters card, we vote the right leader in, then he cleanses from the top and it comes down. Then we can become better.
All right, then, thank you very much. Thank you very much, Engineer Fimba Ajewu. Now, this will be a pretty good place to anchor the conversation. We've been speaking with, first of all, in our first conversation, Barrister Darlington Agomo, who is a lawyer and VOP in-house analyst. We also had Mr. Lawal Ekundayo, educationist and political affairs analyst. And from our Oka outstation, we're joined by Engineer Fimba Ajewu, who is a political affairs analyst. And from our Bini outstation, we had Comrade Leftist Gospower Okumbo. He's a public affairs analyst. And on behalf of the backroom staff and my colleagues here, Moses Humphrey and Fina Okechukwu, I am Chukuma Okoro. I'm not Fina, please, I'm Chukuma Okoro. Thanks for being part of the show. And Fina and I will stay back at 10 o'clock for the Super Review. Do join us again then. Bye for now.